Hello, everyone, and welcome to another game between these two players. It is going to be Una versus Lost Love, and I gotta turn off Fog of War since there are no observers in this matchup. This is going to be on Secret Valley. You can see WFZ spawning as the Undead player over here on the top right-hand side of the map, and on the bottom left side of the map, we do have Una spawning as the yellow NIghtelf. And once again, a lot of rally point changing, and not my favorite part of the game to listen to by any stretch of the imagination. Now, in game one, Una had a very, very unfortunate encounter with his hero at the very end, and didn't do a good job controlling that hero. Ended up taking a lot more damage than I think was necessary, and ended up losing that hero at level 5. So we'll see whether or not Una is going to be able to do a little bit better this time around, and we'll see if whether WFZ goes for the same strategy or tries to change it up. He is going for a Crypt, Altar of Darkness, Tome of Relics, and a Ziggurat. So it is pretty much a very, very similar opening. It is going to be ghouls, and then perhaps try to move out with a level 1 Death Knight. Perhaps even selling his Scroll of Town Portal, as we saw earlier, as now a Wisp and a Ghoul now making and changing their locations. The ghouls, apparently Undead, do not like sheep, but the real reason behind that is he wants to be able to use those skeletons for Rod of Necromancy, and anytime you're able to have a little critter on the screen, kill it, and then you can resurrect some other units as well. So in comes the Ghoul. The Ghoul gonna take a look around. There is a Moonwell now attempting to be constructed, but a lot of damage could be had. There is no armor on a building while it's being built, so I don't think there's armor on a building while it's being built, so you can actually deal full damage there, as the Wisp now being forced to run away down to 23 hit points, perhaps trying to disrupt the mining a little bit, as this Moonwell may end up being forced to be cancelled. No, the Ghoul deciding to retreat and return home, as this low hit point Wisp able to run away and hide off over here. Now, it looks like the Death Knight is once again selling his Scroll of Town Portal, picking up a Rod of Necromancy, and a Dust of Appearance. He has not trained yet, so he has not picked up Unholy Aura or Death Coil. So we'll see what his long-term strategy is there. Now quickly getting a couple skeletal minions, and now the Ghoul is going to perhaps push back in and try to get even more damage, as the Warden doing a bit of Archer Ancient of War creeping off over here, able to almost get to level 2. And you can see her now sitting at level 1, just a little bit shy of level 2, as now the Death Knight pushing in. And it may be able to take down the Wisp. No, it doesn't look like the Wisp will be taken down at all, and quickly just transferring locations once again, trying to maximize that damage. Has not really done anything yet. Could have gotten the Death Coil off and perhaps stolen some of that experience or gotten some experience, but instead opting to go for Unholy Aura once more, and now able to outrun that Warden. But the Warden may get the kills off on the skeletal minions anyways, as the skeletal minion timer is about to be completed. Will they be able to run around in time is the key question, as now that skeletal minion backing off, and I do not believe Love is going to get any more experience from any units so far, being very, very careful to not lose any experience or give any experience to their opponent. Now, we do see a Hunter's Hall over here, and we are going into Huntresses. So Huntress is going to come in, and Huntress is a very interesting strategy, as the time that they're going to be useful is going to be very limited until Crypt Fiends join in on that fight. Warden is still sitting at level 1, and now in comes the Tree of Life. The Tree of Life gets in one easy quick hit, as those units back off. 7 ghouls and 1 Death Knight with a couple skeletal minions thrown in there for good measure. 8 ghouls, excuse me. So 8 ghouls there. There are these fountains of health, and we'll see whether or not they're going to be used. Normally it's not used that much in an Undead versus NightElf matchup, as you do need a little bit of a ranged hero in order to take it down. And we'll see how this is all going to work, as Archer is now going to take a lot of damage. One Archer gets taken down, level 2 on the Warden. The Warden may perhaps try to get a Fan of Knives going, and going to get a counter surround, and the Warden barely able to survive and slip through there. Going to perhaps do a little bit of a push once again, as Archers and Huntresses are off to the north. 28 food for the Huntresses. Meanwhile, it's 28 food over 40 for the Undead player, unable to keep track of how much food Una is currently using, as the Huntresses and Skeletal Minions are still wandering about in midfield, trying to figure out where exactly they can go. A quick detonation, denying some energy, but really Death Knight and all of these ghouls are waiting for level 2 once again. As soon as tier 2 has been completed, I expect another Naga Sea Witch to be picked up, and perhaps even a boost of speed on that Naga Sea Witch, but it didn't seem like it was all that necessary in the last matchup. Death Knight now looking to creep out this 5-3-3 creep camp. He does have a little bit of experience, so he will be able to creep it out in very easily. Gonna go ahead and take down the Null Assassins. Null Assassins taking a lot of damage from ghouls because they are medium armored. So they take, I believe, 150% weapon damage. A Null Overseer back over here gonna get surrounded and finish off and destroyed as well. Naga Sea Witch could still be picked up from the tavern. Graveyard has been completed. No weapons upgrade that I can see at this time, as we are now going into the Black Citadel, and a lot more wood needs to be harvested in order to pick up the hero from the tavern, instantly being able to train up that tavern hero there, as we now see an Ancient Protector slowly moving away and now teching the Tree of Ages. Still sitting at tier 1, or still sitting on one hero. Excuse me, as the Warden now sitting at level 2.5, and we'll see how that's going to work as the Red Drake at 950 hit points now retreats home. It looks like it was picked up over here, and now we are going into the Lich. So Lich as the second hero as opposed to the first, as the Death Knight now apparently trying to chase down some of these units here. It looks like the Huntress, that Lich, will be able to get some Frost Nova down and perhaps Nova those Huntresses so they are unable to run away and escape. Tree of Eternity now being upgraded as well. Ancient of Lores being added, dual Ancient of Lores, as we now see the Death Knight attempting to creep out the Red Drake over here at this location. The Red Drake, the Lich has to be careful though, needs to pull the Drake away from the fountain, and then the Lich can then be able to almost solo the Red Drake as long as it has that Fountain of Health. Warden getting very close to level 3, should get there right here at the end of this creep camp, a level 3 and a level 1. There it is. There it is. Now getting up to level 3. Claws of Attack +6, plus Circuit of Nobility, and buying a Staff of Teleportation, perhaps going to do a little bit more harassment once more. But there's a lot of Ziggurats here, and it's going to be very difficult to sneak behind there, if at all, as the Warden does have Boots of Speed, and we'll see how successful she really will be. Lich sitting at level 1 still. Death Knight sitting at level 2. And now in comes the Warden here. The Warden may be able to get off a quick kill. There's one quick kill. And now a little bit stuck. A quick blink. And now a Shadow Strike on one. And getting some easy damage onto one of those Acolytes. The Acolyte, unable to get saved. The tick going off right before the Death Coil arriving. And now the Warden needs to be very, very careful. Another Shadow Strike. And able to teleport away right as the Death Coil heals up the Ghoul once more. Still level 2 there, as the Warden now using a Clarity Potion and some of that Moon Juice in order to heal back up. Still very low on hit points. It looked like she healed up, and now gonna drop a Circlet of Nobility and now pick it back up, most likely, as the archers are nowhere to be found. Only Huntresses going to try to engage in the center portion. Lich is taking a lot of damage, quickly getting death coiled once again. Level 2, level 1, but there are Obsidian statues in play, providing a lot of healing to go around. Area effect healing so effective, as the Warden may try to perhaps do a little bit of a push. Minus 4.4 armor damage reduction is down to 5. So, or down to just very, very low there. Yeah, down to 5%. Not even 1 armor, as Ghoul Frenzy has now been completed, meaning that those ghouls are going to be able to attack even more quickly. And now the Lich and the Death Knight still circling each other, trying to figure out what that strategy will be like. You can see range, the attack speed is now fast. Huntress is now going to try to push in, and it may be able to get a little bit of damage. And now the Death Knight sitting at level 2 does have a potion of greater healing. Huntress now tries to back off. It looks like it will perhaps not be able to make it. No, not be able to make it at all, as the Death Knight now taking another Shadow Strike. Has to be very, very careful, but I don't think there's going to be enough damage to really bring it into that very, very low hit point zone, as the Death Knight does also have a potion of greater healing. wisp across the area. Warden now trying to attempt to chase. Warden sitting at level 3, perhaps going to creep out this Ogre Magi with the help of some bears and some huntresses and some dryads. Bear going to get taken down. Down it goes. Wanda mana stealing and perhaps siphoning some of the mana. There you go. As now the Death Knight in a bit of trouble, but able to get off a Death Coil and a Frost Nova on a low hit point Warden. And the Warden has to really pick and choose its fights now, as the Destroyer is now in the air, going to just deal massive amounts of damage. Destroyer, the only unit that I know that has negative energy or mana regeneration, as the only way it can get some energy is by either siphon mana in the other way, or if it devours magic, which is a very useful ability to have, especially if your opponent's going for summons. But I don't see any summons coming in from Una at this time. The Death Knight now attempting to push this army back. It looks like the Warden may try to overcommit. No, not going to overcommit there. But this one Moonwell already very low on hit points, as the Huntresses trying to figure out where exactly they can go. More damage being dealt to that Moonwell, down to 100 hit points. There's a roar, and now the Warden almost overcommitting in that fight there, as a statue now arrives at the party just a little bit, just at the right time. A bear goes down. Another bear may get taken down as well, as it is very low on hit points, down to 100. There it goes, and now the Lich is sitting at level 3, so level 2 Frost Nova and level 2 Unholy Coil. So that is going to be a lot more nuking power than Una really wants to deal with, having to deal with direct damage from 2 undead heroes. Huntresses and Dryads now making their way off to the north, perhaps going to be able to finish off this Red Drake over here. Down over here, it looks like another creep camp will get destroyed once more, as we now see Una, or Lost Love, attempting to clear out the natural expansions here on Secret Valley, and it looks like it will be successful. Warden now sitting at level 4 has a lot of energy, but if it can get to level 5 and then that all-important level 6 is the key question, as the Ancient of War now taking a beating and trying to fend off this undead swarm. 48 over 50. Yeah, and Lost Love doesn't have that much or that large of an army. Quickly dropping the Pendant of Energy and the Gloves of Haste. Will it be enough, as there is one Ancient Protector? And now what will this one particular Dryad do? Perhaps blink in and then Fan of Knives to get a lot of damage across multiple units? No, that is not going to be the case. Both players still running off of one base. No telltale signs of a 2 base or a second base as of yet. Tree of Eternity now getting the Mark of the Claw, which enables bears to roar while in bear form still. And excuse me, sorry about that. Yeah, be able to morph while in bear form still. Bears, Dryads, and Huntresses now looking to push in here. Is it going to be enough? We do have a Shadow Strike onto Ghoul. Ghoul going to get Death Coiled, will be saved, as the Warden sitting at only 1.6 armor, and now just continuing to keep all of these units alive. A lot of focus damage. Down goes one of those Ghouls. A bear might get taken down. No Staff of Preservation at all, and that is a horrible loss, as Una losing bears and now down to only one bear, as this Death Knight has done enough damage to really force Una to retreat. WFG, I believe it's WFG. Now fending off the attacks here. Will it be enough, as this Hunter's Hall may get destroyed? Crypt Fiend now getting focused down. It looks like it will get saved with another Death Coil. A bear now using a little bit of rejuvenation or healing from the Moonwell in order to be able to retreat once again. And now we see a burrowed Crypt Fiend regenerating hit points. So nicely done, but the burrowed Crypt Fiend has to be very careful. Oh, down to 50 hit points. Once again, gonna re-burrow and now just sit off over here. You can see, oh, Dust of Appearance. Down goes the Dryad, as another Blink and another Shadow Strike. So Una doing a great job trying to get to level 5. And if he gets to level 5, that level 3 Shadow Strike may be too much for this very heavy Spider Fiend army. It looks like, oh, another rejuvenation there. Barely able to survive. And now the Huntresses, where the Huntresses are nowhere to be found, as the Warden now attempting to run away and able to get a rejuvenation off right as a bear goes back into bear mode. And both sides are fighting it out once again. There is a Destroyer in the air. Is it going to be enough, as we now see the Warden is coming back in? He did use a what's it called? a rejuvenation, I believe, in order to get back into that 600 hit point range. Another bear gets taken down, but so does a Crypt Fiend. As now we see level 3 on the Death Knight, level 3 on the Lich, and now level 1 on the Dark Ranger still. And this may be a bit of a push now, as it looks like this Crypt Fiend will just be able to regenerate those hit points and lose it very, very quickly as well. Death Knight able to take down a Druid of the Claw out in Druid mode, as the Death Knight now continuing to heal up his army and get back into the swing of things. The Warden still dangerously low, only sitting at level 5. He perhaps needs to drop the Pendant of Energy, get all of that energy back, or Pendant of Mana, get all that energy back, and then add back this Pendant of Mana in order to have maximum mana for those Fan of Knives and the Shadow Strikes and the Blinks. Another large army still coming off over here. Abominations being added. It looks like the Ogre Magi will get focused down rather quickly. It does currently take an additional 6 damage there. It's only taking 6% or 6% less, as a Ghoul now gets taken down. Oh, is it going to get taken down to 3 hit points? And it looks like it was taken down there. And as the Lich now sitting at level 3, Dryads are now once again going to try to re-engage back off to the north. But things are not looking good for Una, the Night Elf player. He may be able to catch a couple of units in transit, but unable to do that either, as the Death Knight has almost a strong, firm grasp on this game already. Now, another engagement coming in. A quick blink from the Warden once again in order to get away. That Warden blinking across the map, being very, very annoying. And being able to find out where exactly that Undead army is pretty much at all times. Death Knight now making its way in. It looks like there are a couple of Dryads and Bears, but it's not going to really matter, as the Lich and the Obsidian statues have just been simply dominating this army, and there's not much that Una could do. He's let his opponent mass up. His counter units are not that successful. Bear may get taken down. One bear down. Another bear may get taken down. Yes, another bear gets taken down. And only one bear is left. Is it going to be enough? No, not enough at all. And now we have level 4 and level 2 on all of the Undead heroes. And that's exactly what Una wanted to see, as we now see another quick death coil, as saving a lower hit point Abomination running away, as the demon, or not the demon hunter, the Dark Knight and the Warden, not the Shadow Hunter, the Warden are still battling it out. 3 destroyers in the air. It looks like this one Moonwell down to 16 hit points may be the first building casualty that I can remember. There it goes. Nothing really there to try to heal it. Rejuvenation on this one particular Dryad, as now the engagement is going to start. One Crypt Fiend does get taken down. Another Crypt Fiend may get taken out. A quick blink in order to get away, and now perhaps regroup once more. Crypt Fiend, 3 Crypt Fiends, 3 heroes, an Abomination, and an Obsidian statue make up the course of WFG's, I think that hopefully WFG's Undead army. Meanwhile, you can see Una has a lot of Dryads and has to be very careful. The Warden getting dangerously low on hit points, but with Blink able to escape very easily and get back home. Now, both of these players are still trying to buy themselves time in figuring out what their long-term strategy is. You can see that the Undead hero may get to level 5, it may not, but it's not really the ultimate concern, as the level 5 almost seems like icing in terms of this battle now. The Warden is at level 5, but he does not have a level 2 and a level 4 counterpart to really pat him on the back and tell him how good of a job he's doing. Staff of Preservation now being picked up. You can see that the Warden is attempting to run away. Looks like the Warden will be able to run away, as both sides are now just once again regrouping. Ogre Magi, Ogre Lord going to go ahead and creep out this location even further. You can see the Ogre Lord now going after the Dark Ranger, but the Dark Ranger going to quickly fell him down. And now we also have another Unholy Aura, so a rather useless item on a Death Knight. But we'll see whether or not it's going to be given to a new one or just simply sold. You can now see the Ancient and Protector trying to fight back against this gigantic swarm of undead units. A blink now coming in, fan of knives. And now what is going to be happening here? The warden now down to 560 hit points. It looks like it will get taken down as another bear goes down as well. 20 minutes into this game, still a little bit too close to call, but I would say that MFG, I hope I'm saying his name right, has the significant advantage at this stage. Meanwhile, Una doesn't have that much of an advantage going in for him. You can see that WFG is being taxed slightly higher than Love. No, both players are... Wait a second. I need to... Dang it, I cannot see how much food count Una has or Lost Love has because there is no observer. Now, back over here, Destroyers, Crypt Fiends, Abominations, and 2 more statues now retreating. And now we are going to be pushing in on the front door. It looks like the Ancient Protector is going to start fighting away at the Dark Ranger as the bears are going to perhaps try to go after the Tree of Eternity. The Tree of Eternity not really doing anything either as the Ancient Protector going to get taken down in just a moment. It does get focused down. Down it goes. And now we see a lot of bears hiding off over here. A quick roar, and now we're going to have the engagement, but we may get the Devour Magic. Yes, able to Devour Magic, and now the Warden taking a beating, and a Silence also being cast as well. Is it going to be enough as the Warden needs to able to be blink away, able to heal back up? Dust of Appearance, there's the Fan of Knives, but it may be too little too late as the Abominations and the Destroyers are just eating through that bear line there, and down goes another bear as we now see that what this Entangled Goldmine was trying to make its way off somewhere else. Do we have an Entangled Goldmine here? Yes, just ever so slightly. Not quite enough to catch up. Another 3 minutes, and this is going to be very difficult. Both players are going to have to deal damage with their standing armies as they're not going to be able to really train. And now in comes the Scroll of Town portal, and out they go. Crypt Fiends quickly burrowing themselves in order to regenerate more hit points. Also going to be able to get the Essence of Blight. And we also see the food count is 59 over 60 once more as he's continuing to train up even more units. Death Knight, Lich, and Dark Ranger 443 respectively. As we are now going to see the Dark Ranger attempt to clear out this one particular creep camp. Going to be able to do a rather easy job. Focus down onto the Troll Berserker first, but now in comes the Warden. The Warden perhaps going to the Warden now going to come in and try to do a little creep jack play, but it doesn't look like he will be successful either. You can see back over here, Ogre Magi, Ogre Warlord, now just both sides continuing to fight. As another Warden tries to push its way back in. This is not a good strategy to rinse and repeat whenever you are losing in that battle. And now in comes a Staff of Teleportation. We'll see what he tries to transition into next. Death Knight sitting at level 4, about to get to level 5. Where is that Death Knight? I don't see it. The Death Knight, where'd it go? There it is. Yeah, the Death Knight only a fraction away, 15 experience away, as the units are now still wandering around. Dryads of Una attempting to protect this expansion over here, as you now see Una establishing and moving the main base over to that location and be able to fend off any more attacking. You can see also a red Drake in the air, gonna get quickly destroyed. There's no web coming in from the Crypt Fiends, but still enough to do something, as the Dryads are now going to catch some of these units out of position. Fan of Knives coming in, a very low hit point. Crypt Fiend down to 9 hit points. Now both sides going to continue to run away. It looks like the bear getting Frost Nova'd, and this is going to be bad news as another bear bites the dust. And really, Una has to really pick and choose his engagements a little bit more wisely and figure out what his opponent's going for. Slaughterhouse, Graveyard. Both sides are now going to engage over here. Blink now able to blink away once again. And now in comes the reinforcements. We see 3 destroyers, a lot of Crypt Fiends, some Abominations, and 2 statues. Both sides are still duking it out. A Dryad goes down, and now another Dryad may go down as well. And there you go. Una says game. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. I hope you guys enjoyed this game between Una and WFZ here on Secret Valley.